So how can we relate this cover of a pop song created a few years ago to the concept of music education? How can I have inspired myself to create something that is really unique and not done by anyone else? Well, we can for sure thank music education for this. But then you might be wondering, why music education? Didn't Sam Smith encourage you to do this cover? Yes, but not all of it. Music education is a great way for students to get interactive with their teachers about how music is just plainly awesome. But there are mixed reviews about differences that people have about music, like whether or not kids should learn the basic concepts of music theory, which I think they should. But anyway, some of the main concepts that stick to me that I would like to discuss is the assessment of music, the creativity behind music learning, and why special education programs should be funded. So let's start with assessment. When you take a class in any school, wherever you are, you would expect to have an assessment of some kind. A lot of people on Twitter think of many ways you can try to assess a student in music. But how would you assess students with music? William Barr talks about this in his article all about the assessment to music learning. One of his quotes is, "Not only is assessment necessary to determine whether students have learned what teachers think they have taught, but it also informs the design of instruction." If it were up to me, I would assess students in music through the use of concerts, because to me, concerts are a way to express what a student has learned throughout the year. And if any mistakes happen, then the music educator can help fix those mistakes in the following classes after the concert. The next concept that ties into this is creativity. How can we be creative in the assessment, right? Because every child needs creativity within their life. And when a child becomes creative, it really showcases what they can do. Scott Watson has a quote within his article on thoughts of creativity that states, "In order to be creative, you need to be able to view things in new ways, or from a different perspective." A lot of people on Twitter seem to have the same general idea about how they would use creativity within their music classes. If it were up to me, I would use creativity by allowing the students to decide on what kinds of genre music to explore doing and learning within their class time. And by letting them explore the different kinds of music that are out there, it will allow them to see the different genres, which are the different perspectives, just like Scott Watson said within his article. And finally, to talk about the special education programs, I believe that they are always a necessity to have. People on Twitter, including me, have discussed about how we as music educators try to see how we contact the people representing us in government, like for those in the House of Representatives and the US Senate, and see how they could fight our battles for us. Alice Hamill adds on to this subject with her quote from her article that access to quality to special education both inside and outside within the arts still remains a challenge. And I definitely agree with this statement, because it still happens to this day when not enough interest would be supported within smaller communities to fundraise the money needed for special education. Because I believe that every child deserves a chance to do what they want to do with their life. So in conclusion, music education is something very important to recognize, because how assessment can result to something creative about music and how we encourage all students to participate. The issues with the funding for special education programs, still is a little bit of a fight that we try to fix today. But in the very end, the most important goal of them all is to create beautiful music with those around you. This has been Brandon Morris, and this is me signing off.